My name is Shakira. I never imagined I would become someone whose heart learned pain before happiness. When I was younger, I believed love was simple. I believed that if two people cared enough, everything else would find its place. I believed effort was enough. I believed patience was rewarded. Life corrected me quietly. I learned how to be alone very early. Not because I wanted to be, but because people leave, promises change, and silence becomes familiar. I learned how to depend on myself, how to hide my feelings behind calm eyes, how to pretend that I was okay even when my chest felt heavy for no clear reason. I told myself I didn't need love, but the truth was I was only afraid of it. I met him when my heart was not looking for anything. That day was ordinary, the kind of day you forget easily. The sky was dull, the streets were loud, and I was sitting in a small cafe, watching people pass by the window as if they had somewhere important to go. I was holding a cup of coffee, untouched, already cold. I wasn't waiting for anyone. Then he walked in. He didn't change the room. He didn't demand attention. He just existed quietly, like someone who carried his own storms inside. He looked tired, not physically, but emotionally, the kind of tiredness you recognize only if you felt it yourself. Our eyes met for a moment, just a moment. But something in me shifted, like my heart recognized something my mind hadn't yet understood. His name was Daniel. At first, it was nothing, just conversations, just words, just time passing. We talked about small things, life, work, dreams we weren't sure we still believed in. He listened to me in a way no one ever had. Not to respond, not to impress, but to understand. When I spoke, he looked at me like my words mattered. That was dangerous, because I had lived too long feeling invisible. With him, I felt seen. I noticed things before I admitted them. The way I waited for his messages. The way my mood changed when he smiled. The way silence felt heavier when he wasn't around. I told myself it was friendship. I lied. Daniel had a life before me, a life I did not belong to. There was someone else, a woman who had his history, his promises, his future. He never hid that truth from me, and that made everything worse because I couldn't even hate him. I knew, and yet I stayed. I fell in love slowly, so slowly that I didn't notice until it was too late. I fell when he remembered small details about me that even I forgot. I fell when he noticed when I was quiet and asked if I was okay and waited for the real answer. I fell when he told me I was strong, even when I felt broken. At night, I lay awake staring into darkness, my heart full of questions with no answers. Why him? Why now? Why someone I could never have? But love never explains itself. It just happens. I never told him how I felt. Not because I didn't want to, but because I knew the truth would destroy us both. So I loved him in silence. I smiled when he talked about his life. I listened when he mentioned her. I swallowed my pain and called it understanding. Every time he left, it felt like losing something I never owned. Every time he returned, hope whispered lies into my heart. Hope was cruel. There were moments, quiet moments, when I thought he felt it too. The way his voice softened when he spoke to me. The way his eyes lingered for a second too long. The way silence between us felt full, not empty. Those moments were the most painful because they made me believe in something that could never be real. I started losing myself without realizing it. I stopped laughing the same way. I stopped sleeping peacefully. I started measuring my worth by his attention. And still, I said nothing. Because loving him meant accepting my place, the one behind the scenes, the one without a future. The day everything broke, it didn't look dramatic. He told me he was getting married. His voice was happy. I smiled. I congratulated him. I wished him happiness. I did everything right, except breathe. That night, I cried until morning. Not loudly, not beautifully, just silently, with tears that felt endless. My chest hurt in a way I didn't know was possible. It felt like grief, not for someone I lost, but for something that never existed. That was when I understood I didn't just fall in love with the wrong person. I fell in love with someone who was never meant to stay. Loving him changed me. It took my peace. It took my innocence. It took the part of me that believed love always chooses fairly. But it also taught me painful truths. That love alone is not enough. That timing can ruin even the deepest connection. That choosing yourself sometimes feels like loss. I left quietly. No goodbye. No explanation. No final message. Not because I didn't care, but because staying would have destroyed me. Some nights, his name still hurts. Some mornings, memories return without warning. Healing is slow. Some days, it doesn't feel like healing at all. But I keep going. Because I deserve a love that chooses me without hesitation. Time did not stop after he got married. That was the cruelest part. The world kept moving as if nothing had happened, while inside me everything had collapsed. Days passed. Nights passed. I woke up. I worked. I spoke to people. I smiled when I was expected to. From the outside, I looked the same. Inside, I was empty. I tried to convince myself that leaving was enough. That distance would erase him. That silence would heal me. But love does not disappear just because you walk away. It hides. It waits. It hurts quietly. Some nights, I reach for my phone without thinking. My fingers remembered his name even when my mind tried to forget it. I never sent the message. I just stared at the screen until it went dark again. I wondered if he ever thought of me. That question haunted me more than the answer ever could. After his marriage, I avoided places that reminded me of him. The cafe, the streets we walked, even certain songs. But memories are not places you can avoid. They live inside you. They appear when you least expect them, in silence, in dreams, in moments of weakness. Sometimes I imagine his new life. I imagine him happy. I imagine him safe. I imagine him loved. And that thought broke me in a different way. Because loving someone means wanting their happiness, even when it destroys you. Weeks passed, then months. I told myself I was healing. But healing is not a straight line. Some days I felt strong. Other days, I felt like I was falling all over again. I would laugh with friends and suddenly feel tears behind my eyes. I would wake up from dreams where he was still mine and realize he never was. I started blaming myself. Why did I stay? Why did I hope? Why didn't I leave earlier? But the heart doesn't follow logic. It follows connection. One evening, long after I thought I was invisible to him, I saw his name on my phone. My heart stopped. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My hands shook. I stared at the screen as if it might disappear. I thought about ignoring it. I thought about protecting myself. I answered. He asked how I was. Such a simple question. Such a dangerous one. I told him I was fine. I lied. We spoke carefully, like two people walking on broken glass. He told me about his life. I listened. I didn't ask questions. I didn't dig deeper. I stayed where it was safe, or so I thought. Then he said something I wasn't ready to hear. He said he missed me. Not in love. Not in regret. Just missed. That word reopened wounds I worked so hard to close. Because missing someone means they mattered. And I had spent months trying to believe I didn't. After that conversation, everything became heavier. I realized that even distance was not enough if he could still reach my heart with a few words. I realized that healing sometimes requires stronger choices, painful ones. So I did something that hurt more than staying. I let him go completely. I stopped responding. I stopped checking. I stopped hoping. Not because I stopped loving him, but because I loved myself more. There were nights I cried quietly, asking myself if love was always meant to hurt this much. If choosing the wrong person was my punishment. If my heart was simply too soft for this world. But slowly, something changed. I started breathing again. I started sleeping longer. I started finding pieces of myself that I lost while loving him. One day, I realized something painful but freeing. He was not a bad person. He was just not my person. And that truth finally gave my heart permission to rest. I still remember him sometimes. Not with pain, but with softness. He was a chapter in my life, not the whole story. He showed me what connection feels like. He showed me how deeply I can love. And he showed me the strength it takes to walk away. My name is Shakira. I loved the wrong person. I survived it. And now, I am learning how to love myself without fear, without silence, without losing who I am. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, subscribe, comment, and share.